Chicago Cubs baseball is once again on the air. It's the second day in a row. We are bringing you game 2 of this 4-game series. It's the Cubs. It's the Reds. It's an NL Central rivalry on the north side of Chicago at the Federal Landmark, Wrigley Field. The Cubs looking to get back above 500, but they got to do it against a red-hot Reds team. We break down the matchup, starting pitchers, starting lineups, all that fun stuff and more after a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We got a good one coming up. Welcome back. We're about T-minus 8 minutes away from first pitch here at Wrigley Field at 7:05 p.m. Central Time. The Reds and the Cubs face off in game 2 of this 4-game series. Now, I'm going to have a guest joining me later on to be my color commentator, if you would say so, one of my good buddies. So I will introduce him once he arrives. But for now, I'm on my own for the first few minutes of this stream. We're going to break down this matchup, starting pitchers, starting lineups, leading you up to first pitch. And let's start with the Cincinnati Reds, the visiting team here tonight. And they are on absolute fire. Tonight, they go on the road for game 8 of this 11-day, 10-game road trip. They'll head back home to face the Nationals in the next series. But they've been good on the road. They picked up another one last night. They are now 31-23 on the road, and that's something that the Cubs are going to have to be careful with. The Reds like playing in the road environments. They're trying to become the first team ever to win a division after losing at least 100 games the season before. So last year, it was a season they want to forget. And nobody even saw this year coming, so it's really been a surprise and fun to watch. They have not led the division by more than 2.5 games, which they have a chance to do tonight if they happen to win and the Brewers happen to lose. But they've not done that since they won the NL Central in 2012. They won that comfortably by 9 games. They're also in first place this late in a full season for the first time since the end of 2012 when they won the division. So it's been a decade plus since the Reds have seen this kind of success. How have they done it? They've gotten rookies. They've had 12 players make their major league debut and the 16th rookie to appear in at least a game for the Reds this year. So the youngsters have been good. They lead the majors with 122 stolen bases, picked up a few of those last night, and they also have not gone away easily. They're tied with the Orioles for 35 come from behind wins this season. And when I say we didn't see it coming, we really didn't. Even earlier on in the season, they were once 29-35. They trailed the Pirates, who were in first place at the time, by 5 games. They've since fought back, and here they are with a division lead of 1.5. The Brewers currently lead the Nationals, though, and the Cubs looking to beat the Reds tonight. So still a long way to go in this season. Cincinnati is not out of the woods yet. Tonight, their starting pitcher is Ben Lively. The big right-hander wears number 59 for Cincinnati. Tonight, making a second career appearance and start versus the Cubs. His first since 2017. I'll break down what happened then in a moment. But he just got called up from the Louisville Bats back on May 5th and is now making start number 14 on the season. First start of the year was on May 19th, 10 days after his call-up against the Yankees. First start in the major leagues since April 26th of 2018 when he was on the Phillies. So it's been a while, but he's settled in nicely. He's put up a 3.76 ERA. He's got a 4-6 record. The Reds are 6-7 when he pitches. Batting average against at a low 245. Innings pitched 67. That averages, or his career high and season high is 8 innings pitched. Gave up 64 hits in those 67 innings, 28 runs, all 28 of those earned, so the defense has been good behind him. 17 walks issued, strikeout to walk ratio very good, 62 strikeouts, only 17 walks, and he's kept the ball in the ballpark nicely, averaging just 1 home run per start at 13. Now, his career against the Cubs, obviously, as I said, that start in 2017, that was around this same time, August 26, 2017, on the Phillies against the Cubs. They lost that game 2-17, and he gave up, get this, 6 runs in 5 innings of work. And that means if you do the math, in 3 innings of the bullpen, they gave up 11 runs. So, not a horrible start, obviously 5 years ago. Could do better. It doesn't even matter, I guess, against the Cubs. But it's just something that I get to say. Tucker Barnhart is in the lineup tonight for the Cubs, and he has had some success against Lively, I guess you could say. 1 for 3 in just 3 at-bats, but he gets the start in for Yan Gomes tonight after Gomes had a 3-hit night last night. Now for the Cubs, it's Drew Smyly, the NL leading guy in ERA. He's got a 2.46 ERA. That went down from a 2.83 ERA after a ruling from the earlier game against the Red Sox a couple of weeks ago was overruled to a error on Nico Hoerner. That meant 2 runs were unearned, and that helps that earned run average ERA. He's 11-3 in 19 games. This will be his 20th game, 20th start. 109 2/3 innings pitched, 100 strikeouts, 99 hits. He's got more strikeouts than hits allowed. How about that? 38 runs in those 19 starts, 24 walks. So, what else do you want to have a starter? Leads the NL in ERA. Justin Steele is your guy. 5th round picked by the Cubs in 2014. They stuck with him. Made his major league debut 2 years ago on April 12th, 2021. And this has by far been his best year. He's only allowed 7 home runs. So that's about 1 every 2 games. Boy, has he kept the ball in the ballpark for the Cubs, and that is just what they need. Cubs and Reds, first pitch coming up in a couple of minutes. We'll take one more break. The Reds starting lineups are around the corner as they come to bat in the top of the first. Well, all the baseball fans know what today was. It was the MLB trade deadline here on August 1st. Trade deadline just about 2 hours ago at 5 o'clock Central Time. The Cubs did not make any new moves today, but they got a few Ackies, or I guess they got a minor leaguer today, but no big names that they were going after. They were looking for a left-handed reliever, could not get one. But last night they added a bat and a third baseman, Jeimer Candelario from the Washington Nationals, 6'2", 222, switch hitter. Good to have another one of those in the lineup. He played in 16 games for the Cubs back in the 2016-2017 season, so he does own a World Series ring with these Northsiders. This season, 95 hits, 16 homers, batting .248 in 368 at-bats with the Washington Nationals. Knocked in 53 runs, and he can run a bit as well, 6 stolen bases, and that fits in well with the Cubs, who do like to steal bases. They did get one reliever, though, and that is Jose Cuas. Came over from the Kansas City Royals in exchange for Nelson Velasquez, right-hand reliever from the Kansas City Royals. Well, we approach the 7:05. 1 more minute to go until first pitch on Game 4 of this 4-game set. The Cubs looking to get a bounce-back win, avoid losing 3 in a row, and Justin Steele will face this Reds lineup. Elly De La Cruz, the young star, leads it off. followed by Nick Senzel, who was not in the lineup last night, in there tonight. Matt McLain, and then Spencer Steer, another rookie that has been big for the Reds, bats cleanup. Kevin Newman batting fifth. He gets into the lineup in game 2 here. Christian Encarnacion Strand, recent call-up. He was good last night. Looking for another one in the 6th spot here. Catching in batting 7th, Tyler Stevenson, TJ Friedel, and Stuart Fairchild round things out 8, 9. Cubs defensively, Happ, Bellinger, Tauchman, good 3 left to right on the outfield. Madrigal, Swanson, Horner, Candelario all the way around on the infield. So Candelario not only can play third base, he can play first. So that's good. Versatility, get Bellinger in center, get Candelario at first. Everything works out well, especially with how Nick Madrigal has been playing as of late. So as I mentioned, I'll have one of my buddies join me later to do the color side of things. But for now, I'm on my own for the first few innings here, as we are about to get underway. Justin Steele faces the switch, hitting Ellie De La Cruz. Bats from the right side here against the lefty. Takes strike 1. Called strike by our home plate umpire, Mark Carlson. Trip Gibson's at first. Jordan Baker at third. Derek Thomas at second as our umpires for tonight. De La Cruz in 45 games, batting .269. 0-1, big swing, big miss. I mentioned that average in just those few games. He became the first player in Major League history to produce 40 hits and 15 stolen bases in his first 30 career games. That's a little over half a hit per game, and Justin Steele makes light work of him here. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to the Reds leadoff guy. Breaking ball in the dirt, gets him to swing and miss. Way on top of that one, and Justin Steele faces one batter and gets the game's first strikeout. So we didn't see much of Marcus Stroman last night. Not enough swing and miss stuff. Justin Steele to do that. Speaking of Marcus Stroman, another rough outing, which we've starting to get used to after he was spectacular to start the season. As here's the first pitch, swinging a pop-up, shallow center. Horner's out, Bellinger's in, and it'll be Horner to call off the center fielder Bellinger. One pitch takes care of Senzel. And just 4 pitches in, Steele gets the first 2 guys down in order. Here comes Matt McLain. McLain, 11 homers, 4 back of the team lead. He's got some pop on that bat. Promoted to the big league squad from AAA Louisville on May 15th. Takes strike. No, ball 1. K-Zone had the entire ball in there. Mark Carlson did not think so. Lefty from the windup, 1-0, way inside, nearly hit McLain. The Reds are really stacked a lot of righties in there tonight. Plenty of lefties against the righty Stroman. Gave up 6 runs in 3 innings of work last night. 2-0. That's in there for a strike at the knees. Steele likes to work fast. Very efficient with his work. Matt McLain leads the Reds in batting average. 366 games, 270 at-bats. 2-1. Looked pretty good, but he didn't get the call. Almost looked like Barnhart tried to bring that one up a bit too much. Kind of fooled Mark Carlson, and it's 3-1. McLain swinging on 3-1. It's another sky-high pop-up. Horner again camps under it, and right on the edge of the outfield grass, squeezes it. Justin Steele puts the Reds down in order. He faces the minimum. We're going to the bottom of the first. It's a 0-0 ball game. First look at the Cubs offense when we return. Already in the bottom of the first is Justin Steele with some efficient work in the top of the first. Ben Lively on the mound for the Reds, right-hand pitcher. They threw the lefty last night, right? The Cubs get to face the righty tonight. Kind of struggled more than the lefties with the righties this year. 34 and 38 when they face right-handed starters. Cubs lineup, Mike Tauchman leads it off. Fills in for Hoerner at leadoff spots tonight. Hoerner bats second. Happ the switch hitter at third. Red Hot Bellinger cleanup. Swanson, the newly acquired Candelario in the sixth spot. And then Morel, who struck out 3 times before getting a big double last night, bats seventh. Madrigal, Barnhart rounded out. First pitch to the Cubs leadoff guy, Mike Tauchman, a bit outside. Ben Lively features fastball, slider, changeup, curveball, and that cutter. Around 87 miles an hour. There's the cutter right there. He only uses it about 4% of the time. A lot of movement on it. Quickly 2-0 to Tauchman. Lively back to work. Mike with a big cut. They're on the hitter's count, but can't do anything of it as it's fouled back to the screen, and it's 2-1. Lively after a short major league season in 2017. Few games in 2018, and then right back down to the minors, where he got called up from earlier this season. Tauchman, check swing. Disappointed in himself there, and he's got to regroup, but it's now a 2-2. Reds looking to stay hot on the road. They've been good at the Cubs this year. 5-1 against the Cubs. 4-0 at Wrigley Field. Tauchman, line drive, and that's a leadoff single from Mike Tauchman. Takes it the other way, dumps it right in over the shortstop McLean's head. And for the second straight night, the Cubs have the leadoff guy aboard. Good piece of hitting. Stays inside out on that swing. Drives it to the opposite field. Good 2-strike approach. Cubs are already in business. Here comes Nico Hoerner. Good night for him last night. Started the ball game up, pounding a double off the wall. He would then finish with 2 hits, a walk. Ended the day 2 for 4. Takes ball 1 inside there. I mentioned how the Reds are very good on the road. Starting May 26th, they've been 24-8 over the last 5 road trips. 1-0. Nico got a backup cutter, but can't make anything of it. Almost looked like Lively crossed up Stevenson there. Did not come back to bite him, and it's 1-1. Nico Hoerner leads the Cubs in plenty of offensive categories. Hits, doubles, stolen bases, just to name a few. Inside corner called strike 2. Mark Carlson a bit generous on the inner edge there. Now Lively's worked back-to-back batters with 2 strikes. Hoerner, takes this one the opposite way, and it absolutely eats up Newman. Tauchman heading into third, and they're on the corners with nobody away. Hoerner hit it hard right at Kevin Newman, the second baseman, and tried to pick it on the short hop on the backhand. Just couldn't do it, and it almost looked like he got a bit of a screen from Derek Thomas, second base umpire. Might have struggled to see that one a bit. Sponge into shallow center. Back-to-back singles for the Cubs. Now first pitch at Happ. Upstairs, Hoerner is stealing, and the throw's into center field. Tauchman's going to jog home easily and score. And just 2 batters in, the Cubs take a 1-0 lead. Stevenson sailed that one. It would have been a good throw if Hoerner was trying to steal second base. That's going to be an E2. Now Happ out to the runner in scoring position. 1-0's fouled back. What a good start for the Cubs. They really needed it. 1-1 upstairs. See, and this is what I like about this year's Cubs team. It just seems to be different. They're putting pressure on teams, using the stolen base to their advantage. They're forcing Stevenson to make an uncharacteristic error. 2-1 to Happ. Tails outside. It's 3-1. Cody Bellinger on deck. Happ, a strange guy. One pitch away from a walk here. He walks 20% of the time, strikes out 29% of the time, so that only leaves 51% for anything else, and he's really a 3 true outcomes guy, which the Cubs have a lot of that. 3-1. Upstairs, there's one of those 20% walks from Happ. First and second for Cody Bellinger, who missed a home run last night by a matter of inches. Coming off that red-hot July. First a mound visit here. Gives us a good time to break down the standings. Reds lead the NL Central by a game and a half. Milwaukee playing the Nationals tonight. Cubs 5 games back. It's really a 3-man race as the Pirates and Cardinals are both 10 and 11 games back. Now in the NL wildcard, 3-way tie for that final spot, and the Cubs just 3.5 games back of that final spot. Giants, Phillies, half a game or 1 game and half a game comfortably in respectively there. So now Cody Bellinger, 40 hits, 8 homers, 24 RBIs. He batted around 400 in the month of July. First pitch to him spins in the dirt. Last time out for Lively, gave up 3 runs in 6 2/3 innings pitched, and run number 4 is already at the plate in the first. Bellinger got a good pitch to hit, but he let it go as Lively finally throws a strike. Fastball in there at the knees. It's 1-1. Another fastball that misses outside. And Lively struggling with control early on here. Two 2-1 to Bellinger. Big swing, big miss at 91. The count's even at 2-2. Bellinger's leads his Cubs team in average with batting .313, and he's really slugged lately, especially in July. .535 slugging. Cubs don't go for a lot of extra base hits, but he slugs a lot. Now there's a bouncing ball that's going to sneak through up the middle. Horner on his horse. He's going to score. Happ's going to get to third. Cody Bellinger delivers. And the Cubs have scored 2 runs before Lively and the Reds have recorded an out. Takes a fastball outside. He pulls it just off the end of the bat. Just a little tapper. But the way that the Reds have him shifted, it got through there. And Wrigley Field, nice and loud early on. They're back on the corners with nobody away. Another mound visit, this time from the pitching coach. And now Dansby Swanson, who homered last night. If Swanson could walk and Candelario gets his first Cubs at bat with the bases loaded, that would be incredible. So Lively's allowed 3 hits in the first 4 batters. He's had a few short outings this year. But in some of those short outings, he's allowed 1 run, 3 runs, 2 runs, nothing big. But here, could be even more shorter and allow more runs. First pitch to Swanson, strike 1. And taking second base is Cody Bellinger without a throw. Now they're on second and third. So that's a stolen base. David Ross putting the runners in movement early for the second time here in this first inning. Stevenson had no shot. Good jump from Cody. Now Dansby has a chance for 2 RBIs. One to Lieutenant Dan. Clubs this one deep to right at the wall, and it's gone! Dansby Swanson has homered for the second night in a row, and the Cubs lead by 5. Oh, baby! They are living off of Lively. 5 batters to the plate. All 5 have scored before an out has been recorded. Swanson, for the second day in a row, strikes for a home run number 14 on the season. And here comes Jeimer Candelario about to make his Cubs at bat. His Cubs debut. First pitch to Candelario, down and in for ball 1. At the knees. Strike 1. Candelario shakes his head, doesn't like it. Wearing number 9, last worn by Javier Baez. Wearing that red sleeve on the left hand, on the left arm, I should say. Lively, just, you can tell he's frustrated out there. 5-0 Cubs in the first inning. There's a fan in the crowd. He's already got a Jeimer Candelario jersey. And there's a line drive, and it's gonna be a base hit. Newman tried to dive. A little bit of a bobble. That's gonna be ruled a hit. And in his first Cubs at bat, Jeimer Candelario all smiles. First Cubs hit, and the first 6 guys have reached base. 92 mile an hour, gets the barrel to the inside pitch, jammed a bit, but not enough as he hit it in a good spot. Newman just could not field it cleanly, and here's Christopher Morel. Big aggressive cut on the first one. Comes up empty. One-0. Breaking ball backed up on him. But Morel, all he can do is pop that one up. And it's the first out. It only took until a 7-hole hitter to get the first out. And here comes Nick Madrigal. Candelario remains at first. So, first pitch to Madrigal. He pops this one up. Over towards the tarp on the right side. And it's up against the netting. And that's a foul ball. How about this? 7 Cubs hitters to the plate. Only 1 has been retired here in the first inning. Dansby Swanson, 3-run homer after an RBI single from Bellinger and Horner. Oh, 1. Madrigal fouls the fastball way over towards the Cubs dugout. It's 0-2. Candelario, 6 stolen bases with the Nationals. And here they'll check on him, but he's back in time. Hit with a head first slide. Lively has thrown 30 pitches, and he's not out of the woods yet. From the stretch, a look at Candelario. Now the delivery. Madrigal wanted to go, but he's able to hold off. First ball at the at-bat. It's 1-2. However, I'll get to that in a minute. First, the 1-2 to Madrigal. Another check swing. Did he go? Appeal to first? No, says Tripp Gibson. But you cannot count the Reds out of this ball game. They're tied with the Orioles for the most come-from-behind wins in the majors with 35 of them. The Cubs almost had a 5-run comeback last night, fell 1 run short. So this game's not over. Still only in the first inning. Madrigal on the 1-2, lines it to right field, and that'll get down. One hop into Fairchild. Candelaria will stay put at second as Madrigal hit that one too hard for further advancement. And it's the Cubs' 7th hit on the day. And it's first and second for Tucker Barnhart, who's one of 4 Cubs hitters on this Cubs roster to have experience against Lively. 1 for 3 and 3 at bats. That one hit was a home run. Takes strike 1 on the breaking pitch there. Most runs in a first inning for the Cubs since last year against these very Reds. 0-1. Fastball just off the inner edge. Barnhart has not been in the lineup for a couple of days here. Guy that not have been surprised to get dealt at the deadline, but they keep him around and gets the start here. First pitch, Barnhart hits it hard to second, but picking it up is Newman, and it's a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. However, the Cubs strike for 5 first-inning runs. They bring all 9 to the plate. They put up 7 hits. Dansby Swanson, the 3-run homer, really capped it all off. We are through 1 inning, and the Cubs already comfortably ahead. Already a fun start from the Cubs. The offense up and rocking early. They got off to a good start last night with a leadoff double from Nico Horner. Nothing came of it until they scored a couple of runs later on in the evening. But today they bring all guys to the plate in the first inning, starting with 6 straight hits for Barnhart, grounded into a double play to end it. And again, with Justin Steele on the mound, that might just be enough. Spencer Steer, strike 1 on the corner. Steer's been another great young option for the Reds. A right-hand bat against lefty Steele here tonight for second pitch. That one's barreled up towards left center, and it's going to one-hop off the wall. Bellinger plays it off a bare hand off the ivy. Throws a one-hop into second, but not before Spencer Steer scoots in with a leadoff double here in the top of the second. And I'm telling you, you cannot count the Reds out. So that's the first hit of the day allowed by Steele. Steer gets his barrel to that up and inside pitch. Steer leads the National League rookies. He's tied in the National Rookie lead for hits, RBIs, and ranks second in extra base hits and total bases. So him having lots of doubles, not surprising, as on this Reds team. Slugs a nice 453. Now Kevin Newman, the 5-hole hitter, with an RBI opportunity here. Already behind 0-1 and watches the curveball bend down below the knees there for ball 1. Kevin Newman not in the lineup last night against the righty Stroman. Gets an at-bat, gets a start here today. playing second, and he grounds that one to third. Scooped up by Madrigal. Across diamond throw. Right on target to Candelario. First catch in a Cubs uniform over there at first base. And it's out number one. No advancement of Steer. It's good work there from Steele, Madrigal, and Madrigal. That goes as a 5-3 put out. Another rookie, Christian Encarnacion Strand here. Good night last night. Drove in a run in the first inning on his way to being 2 for 4. He also had an RBI fielder's choice in that ball game. Promoted from AAA Louisville. Louisville bats on July 17th. Fouls one back there to make it 0-2 since being called up on July 17th. 13 games, 41 at-bats, 10 hits, 1 homer, and that was a go-ahead homer. In his first major league game, and there's a good jump from Steer at second. He'll advance on a wild pitch there as Barnhart kept it in front, but it just got too far out in front of him. That's going to be ruled a wild pitch, and Steer moves up an extra 90 feet, and he is into third. 1-2 to Strand. Steele with a deep breath. Fires. Little looper, shallow center. Bellinger's in. He'll make the catch. Comes up firing to the plate. And there was no tag. Great job by Bellinger. And an even better job by Steele to generate weak contact and get the out. And if Steer was happening to be running, he would have been dead meat as Bellinger threw an absolute strike. Steer got about halfway down the baseline and then decided, yeah, I'm good. So now Steele with a good opportunity to get out of this with no damage done. He'll face Tyler Stevenson. Charged with an error in the first. They're overthrowing second base, which led to Tauchman coming in to score. First pitch to him. He's way out in front of the breaking pitch. Steele can generate plenty of swings and misses with that. Game number 99 for Tyler Stevenson. Saw his backup last night, Luke Maley, but here he's back in the lineup. Behind 0-1 in his first AB of the day. That one nearly hits him down and in. 84th, the back foot. Justin Steele, the first Cubs starting pitcher to lead the MLB in ERA entering August since Dick Ellsworth in 1963. That's Marquee Sports Network McNugget of the day. Don't tell him I stole it. 1-1. Gets the chase, set the elevated fastball. Stevenson, a little shake of the head. Has to get right back in there for the 1-2. Steele's 22nd pitch upcoming. Steer awaits at third. The payoff. And that one gets by Barnhart, and here comes Steer. The second wild pitch of the inning is going to lead to the Reds' first run, and they get one back. It's 5-1. Tried to get too fancy there, and that's one Barnhart's got to have. I'd say that's a pass ball. Now, granted, in his defense, that was a 58-foot pitch, but it's a big league catcher. Can't let that slip between the arms. That is going to be ruled a wild pitch. Two. Stevenson fouls it off his foot. Two once again to Stevenson. Ground ball just beyond the dive of Swanson. Looked like he might have caught a piece of it. And aboard is Stevenson with 2 away. Second hit of the inning for Cincy. Right now, around the NL Central, Brewers lead the Nationals 5-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Pirates lead the Tigers 4-0. And in the wild card race, Marlins and Phillies, it's 1-0 Miami in the bottom of the 8th. There's a delivery, blowing away to the Reds' 8-hole hitter, TJ Friedl. He was in the lineup last night, but in a different spot, batting second. Friedl leads the majors with 11 bunt singles, 6 sacrifice bunts. Tried one late in the game last night. Could not get it down, but that's an interesting little stat there from Friedl. Can lay it down in any count. Fouls one off himself here to even the count at 1-1. So Steele with a wild pitch to allow Steer to move up a pitch, and then Steele with another wild pitch allowed Steer to score. Has since given up an RBI, or has since given up a single to Stevenson, and that's why he's on first with 2 away. Left on left matchup. 1-1. Strike 2, Bender right down the gut. Steele's got him in a 1-2 hole. It's weird seeing Steele give up a run, especially that was all on him here in the early goings. And there's another pitch that gets away from Barnhart. Stevenson up 90 feet. Steele just looking up to the heavens. What's going on with me? I'm throwing pitches in the dirt. I'm used to having Yan Gomes being there for me, and that one just eats Barnhart up. I think that's got to be a pass ball. I don't care what the official ruling is. I'm saying that's a pass ball. 2-2. Ground ball. And Candelario cannot get it. It's going to roll to the sidewall. Horner runs it down. Into second is Friedl. And it is 5-2. What did I tell you? The Reds don't go away. And that's not a good look in your first game with the Cubs. Easy ground ball. Just hits Candelario's heel. Didn't get in front of it. That's going to be an E1. It's 5-2. Or not an E1, an E3. 5-2 now. And Tommy Hotovy has a mound visit. So that's going to be 2 unearned runs for the Reds. Here in the first inning. Awoda, Stuart Fairchild in there for strike 1. So Friedl's at second with 2 away. It's 5-0 coming into the inning. Reds have scored 2 runs to make it 5-2. And Fairchild behind 0-2. How about Stuart Fairchild? Tonight making his first start in center field for the Reds since June 19th. Oh, 2. Swing and a miss. Curveball got him in the dirt, and Steele works out of the inning. 2 runs come across the score, though, for the Reds. Both unearned, a couple wild pitches, and then the Candelario air leads to the Reds getting on the board and cutting the deficit to 3. But the Cubs still lead, and they look to add on to it when we come back for the bottom of the second. Oh, what an inning and a half of baseball we have gotten already. Cubs scored 5 runs at the bottom of the 5th. Reds answered with 2 of their own here in the bottom, on the top of the 2nd. Now we go back bottom 2. Cubs looking to get it right on back. So they are back to the top of the order. Reds will have the same in the top of the 3rd. Man, the last few games I've streamed have gotten all kinds of offense, which is just what we like. Leading off the inning for the Cubs is Mike Tauchman. He's got plenty of offense. 50 hits and 188 at-bats this year. Ball 1, top. Too high there. Tauchman has also left the yard 5 times. Got some pop behind the bat. He can slug all right. 399 slugging, 1-0. Strike 2, catches the upper clip. Lively threw 36 pitches in the first inning, which he gave up 5 runs. Back out there to go through the order a second time. Tauchman lets strike 2 go by, and pitch number 40 upcoming for Ben Lively. 1-2. Outside. So David Bell's going to have a decision to make here. 5th season as the Reds manager, used to situations like this, especially with the success of how the team has been struggling these last few years. See how Lively gets through the order the second time and go from there. 2-2. Tauchman with a good eye watches it fly by around the letters. And the fastball and full count. Single to start off the ball game last inning. And watches ball 4 there. A leadoff walk. Second walk issued on the day. By Lively. For the second inning, Tauchman leads off and reaches. Nico Hoerner. Tauchman's running. The throw again into center field. Tauchman gets up. He's going to third. He slides in safely. The second time today. Stevenson has sailed one into center field. Tauchman moves up another 90 feet. Last time he was going to home. This time he moves to third. Good pop-up slide. Saw it into center field. Got in ahead of Friedel's throw. So that's an E1. Second error on Stevenson. Second Reds error. The 3rd error of the game. And now Hoerner, bouncing ball, is going to keep Tauchman at third as the infield was in. A high chopper. And Hoerner is retired. Now Ian Happ. Fly ball. Base hit gets the job done here. Infield will most likely still be in. Happ walked his first time. Switch hitter. Batting from the left side. Popped him up. Out of play. Scored one of the 5 Cubs runs. He scored on that Swanson 3-run homer into the basket. Lively from the wind up with Tauchman on third. Misses inside. Happ, as I was saying earlier, a big 3 true outcomes guy, but he does lead the Cubs in doubles. Leads the team in on-base plus slugging at 373. Takes a 1-1 that nearly sailed to the backstop there from Lively. And Happ's got a nice hitter's count here. Tauchman on third. 1 away in the top of the 2nd. 2-1 line foul. Two, called strike 3, and it'll be up to Cody Bellinger. Nice looking fastball, tailed back to the inner edge. First strikeout for Lively, and he has a good chance to work out of it. As the infield's now going to move back. Bellinger will need base hit here to score Tauchman, who's at third with just one out. And Bellinger's gonna do more than hit a single. This baby's off the scoreboard in right field. A belly bomb, and the Cubs get the 2 runs right back. First pitch ambush for number 16 on the season for Cody Bellinger. He had a red-hot July, but this could be the start of an even hotter August. A single last inning, and now a 105-mile-an-hour homer here. And it's 7-2 Cubs in the second. Oh, man, Lively thought he might have worked out of the inning, threw a little bunny. Breaking ball right down the gut. And Bellinger hits it off the right field scoreboard. And now a pitch inside to Dansby. He doesn't like that. Oh, baby. Bellinger's 2 for 2. He put out a panel on the scoreboard. Oh, baby. The power of Cody Bellinger. It's 1-0 to Dansby. Swanson, center field. He hit it hard, but right at TJ Friedl. Cubs get 2 more. They get the 2 runs right back. A 2-run homer for Cody Bellinger. His first in August after having 8 of those in July. And he puts the Cubs back up 5 as we go to the top of the third. What do you gotta love the start the Cubs have right here? 7 runs in the first 2 innings, and they lead by 5. Spectacular start, and Justin Steele, if he can just keep dealing, the Cubs are in very good shape. I might have to take just a short break in a moment or two. Get the transition done as I'm bringing in my buddy to be my quote-unquote color commentator for the evening. Top 3, here we go. Justin Steele will face the top of the Reds lineup for the second time today. It starts with Elly De La Cruz. 0 for 1, struck out on 3 pitches last time, takes the first pitch here. Reds pitchers, for the most part, have been good since the break. Since the All-Star break, ranked 3rd in the major leagues with a 3.28 ERA. Not the case so far tonight, as they've allowed 7, and by they, I mean Ben Lively, 7 runs through 2 innings of work. One. Well, you hear it being thrown around that De La Cruz has been a difference maker, and these rookies have been a difference maker. And get this, the Reds are 27-33 when De La Cruz was brought up on June 6th. They're 32-16 since. Put that into perspective. 1-2, he got him swinging again. The same pitch he got him last at bat. Doubles up on it here. And De La Cruz is 0 for 2 with 2 punch-outs. I feel like that's what you see. You see all the highlight reels, all the speed plays from De La Cruz, but what you don't see is all these strikeouts. He strikes out a lot. 68 times in 193 at-bats. Almost a 50% strikeout percentage. 35% of the time he's down on strikes. And there's a bender. Strike 1 to Nick Senzel. Oh, 1. That's hit hard down the third base line, and it's a fair ball. Hits off the sidewall. He's going to try to get into second. Happ oh, he went back to first, got halfway around the bag, and Senzel went back to first. Otherwise, he would have been dead meat at second. So it will be a single for Nick Senzel. He's now 1 for 2. And David Bell, the trainer, is going to go up to Senzel, as he might have not went to second because he might have felt something go in his leg or something. And Senzel is going to try to walk it off, it looks like. And why he's walking it off, I'm going to take a quick break. Back in the top of the third. Cubs lead 7-2, and here is my buddy that I've been talking about. This is Blake. He's going to be with us for the rest of the game. Coming along for the ride. 1-2 here to Matt McLain. 0 for 1 with a strikeout first time up. Trying to jumpstart this Reds comeback. As I said earlier, first in the majors with comeback wins. 35 of them. McLain flies this one in the air, right field, and it's going to get down a few feet to the left of the foul line. Getting into the third is going to be Nick Senzel. And the Reds are in business here in the top of the third. Runners on the corners with just 1 away. What do you think? Off the bat, that looked like a pop-up to Tauchman, but the wind is blowing a bit right to left tonight. Blew that one where Tauchman could not get it. So Steele's got to work out some adversity here in the top of the third. Spencer Steer hit one hard. Back up the middle his last time up. Takes first pitch, breaking ball on the outer edge there. Clean up tonight in the 5 spot last night. 2 walks for him. Leads the Reds team in walks. Pitch clock inside 10, and Steele out of the stretch. Delivers in the dirt. Steer swings on top of it, and he's in a 0-2 hole. Left on right matchup to the Reds cleanup hitter, Spencer Steer. Barnhart sets up inside, got it up, and it nearly hit Steer. What do you think? You like Gomes as a better catcher than Barnhart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
For real. Gomes a 3-hit night last night. Out of the lineup tonight, and Barnhart's already struggled. So gave up 3 wild pitches, and there's a leaping catch by Nick Madrigal. Look at the short guy getting elevation. He saves a run, maybe 2, as that one might have been heading into the corner. Spencer Steer robbed. Oh, yeah. Justin Steele appreciates that one. Mark Carlson is going to issue a batter pitch clock violation here on Kevin Newman. Late getting into the box. You got to be looking at the pitcher with 8 seconds on the pitch clock. So that's an automatic strike. It's 0-1. Bouncing ball. Barnhart able to smother it up that time. Senzel at third. McLean at first. McLean has just eight stolen bases on the year, so I would not be surprised if they do send him. There's a fly ball right field line, and that's just foul. Similar to that one that McLean reached on. But just a bit too much tail on that one. Steele approaching 50 pitches here in the top of the third. 2 runs last inning, both of them unearned, so that will not hurt his ERA at all. Still sitting at that league-leading 2.46.
He's still got a little hair.
David Ross?
Yeah.
Holding on to it. 1-2. Got him! Curveball below the knees. Newman's down on strikes. Justin Steele works out of the runners on the corners. 1-out jam. And it remains a 7-2 ball game. The Cubs come to bat once again in the bottom of the third. Back to the bottom of the third. Cubs lead comfortably by 5. Now, you can't count the Reds out of this, but with Justin Steele on the mound, it is looking pretty good. Now, the Cubs, for the most part this season, has struggled against right-hand pitchers, 34 and 38 thus far, but a rough outing for Ben Lively, which we have not been used to seeing, a 3.76 ERA over his previous 13 games. But tonight, 7 runs in the first 2 innings of work. Now he's back out there for the third, facing Jeimer Candelario. Got a hit in his first Cubs at bat last time up. Takes high on the second pitch there, and it's 1-1. Candelario did boot a ball at first, which led to a Reds run. Luckily, in this blowout game, as there's a little squibber to third, De La Cruz will have no play, and Candelario's 2 for 2 with 2 infield singles. Going back to my point, what I was about to say is luckily for Candelario, that it's not a close game, so it does not look like it'll hurt the Cubs. Kind of just a, swing, self-defense. Might have bounced off the plate. Lively could not get over there in time, and by the time De La Cruz barehanded it, Candelario was well on his way to first. Now, you look at most athletic pitchers in the game. Now, Lively's been in the minor leagues for quite a few years, but he has had some major league appearances going back to 2017. You think guys like Stroman and some of these young, flashy pitchers can get to that ball just slightly off the mound?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah? It's always a tough play because, on those comebackers, sometimes you want to let it go. Sometimes you just want your middle infield to take care of it. Trying to make a play on that little squibber. You cannot get there in time. Big cut on from Morel at 90 miles an hour. Elevated fastball. That's 0-2. Morel, 3 strikeouts last night. Ended up having a big RBI double late in the game. Remember, the Cubs would lose that game 6-5. Checked his swing. Did he go? Notes his first base umpire, Trip Gibson. Morel gets another opportunity here. 1-2 Morel with that kitty cat eye black. He's jammed again, and this is a little shallow pop left field. Coming on and making the catch is Senzel, and he'll send Candelario back to first. Looking pretty similar to that first pop-up of the day for Morel, and he's now the only Cubs hitter that is 0 for 2. Rare night at Wrigley Field where the wind is playing slightly out. So a few of those runs for that Dansby Swanson home run got plenty of carry. I don't think Bellinger's needed any carry as off the scoreboard. That would have been gone any other night. But the wind definitely playing a factor thus far. As Madrigal is in, 0-1. Big catch last inning to save a run, maybe 2. Now looking to do it on the offensive end, and for the second straight night, he is hit by a pitch. That one, fastball ran a bit up and in, and the Cubs got him on first and second with a 1 away for Tucker Barnhart. Bounced into an inning double play in that 5-run rally in the first. Now with another RBI chance here. You look at Barnhart, definitely been the worst catcher on the offensive end. Were you surprised not to see him go at the trade deadline?
I was.
He was.
I'm surprised they haven't traded him yet.
Well, yeah, you look at plenty of these guys on the market. Teams looking for catchers. You saw the Rangers pick up Austin Hedges earlier today looking for catchers. They have plenty of good pitchers. Now, obviously, they weren't going to give you any as they are much of not only the playoff pitcher, but the World Series pitcher at this stage in the season. But for other teams that were looking for a catcher, Cubs very easily could have gotten the left-hand or right-hand reliever that they were looking for. Barnhart's still on the team. They sent Amaya down to AAA, which is even more interesting. A young star like Miguel Amaya, sending him down to AAA, giving him more time to evolve, and now you let Barnhart finish up his contract. There's a big swing, big miss. 1-2. Barnhart just looking to put a ball in play, do a job, advance the runner. See if he can't drive in a run here. 1-2. Just a bit up and out. And going back to that Gomes and Barnhart point, we've seen David Ross do this plenty of times tonight, but taking the bat out of guys who are hot. You think that's the right move by David Ross, letting Barnhart bat against the righty? Or do you think he should have let Gomes get the opportunity to bat tonight after having 3 for 4 last night?
They should have let Gomes hit.
Just interesting how David Ross is not giving these red-hot guys chances this season. I mean, who knows? Maybe Gomes does not like the matchups. He's one of 4 Cubs hitters in this lineup or in this roster that has faced Lively. Barnhart with a homer off of in one of his 3 at-bats leading into the night. David Ross liked the matchup and put him out there. 2-2 to Tucker here. Check on the runner, and Lively delivers. Barnhart, left field. A few steps back, now a few steps in by Senzel, and he makes the catch. Runners stay put. 2 away, 2 on for the top of the order, Mike Tauchman. And he's going to have his 3rd at bat here in the 3rd inning. How about this guy, Mike Tauchman? He's been special, huh?
Yeah. Game-saving.
Game-saving catch against the Cardinals a few months ago, a few days ago. But the Cubs get them over 500 at that point. They're calling it the summer of Mike Tauchman. And he's already 1 for 1 tonight. Walked last time. Singleton scored first time up. Got that 5-run rally all started. And here he is batting for the 3rd time in as many innings. 1-0. Tauchman hit well left center. It's deep. And it is out of here. Home run number 3 on the night for the Cubs. Halfway up the bleachers into left center. He got a low fastball. Did not miss it. Where were you for the summer, Mike Tauchman? He's got his 2nd hit of the night, and the Cubs have broken this one wide open. It is 10-2, and they have scored a run in now every single inning. That win, another helping factor, takes it the opposite field. Oh, baby. This Cubs team is fun to watch, and Nico Hoerner takes strike 1. You see many people on social media talking a bunch of crap for the last night's loss. But you look at it and you see they were down 6-1. They were able to fight back. That's one of the things that makes this Cubs team so special. You can never count them out. Hoerner's going to fly out here to end the inning. But 3 more runs added on. It's a Mike Tauchman 3-run homer. The Cubs' 3rd homer of the day. They've had 1 in every inning. They've scored in every inning. It's 10-2. Good guys. Going back to the top of a first inning, they're not so extremely tough hitting for the Reds, and he's up one in the right field for a base hit. Another one of the rookies on this Reds team, one of 12 to make his major league debut this year, one of 16 to appear in a game for the Reds. Now, when you look at these Reds rookies, they've obviously been special, headlining all the stories, but what have they done that have made them so special?
I have to agree with you. They've been very versatile on both sides of the field. Look like Elly De La Cruz. He's been real special. He's done everything for them.
Play any side. De La Cruz, anywhere in the infield, he can run, he can hit, he can do it all. Obviously, 2 strikeouts tonight, but when you look anywhere outside of the strikeouts, mainly
what is happening here?
Looks like Tucker Barnhart might have a catcher's mitt issue here. He'll go get a new one. But going back to De La Cruz, when you look outside of the strikeouts and the walks, 3 true outcome guy, but when you look outside of that, he's left the yard 12 times. Left the yard 3 times. But we know he's got all that power in the bat. He can play anywhere in the field. The Reds would like him to. Boys, he got a strong arm as well. So Encarnacion Strand with that leadoff single is aboard for Tyler Stevenson, who singled and scored last time, up. Ground ball to third. Madrigal, this could be a 2-ball. Second for 1. On to first. The stretch from Candelario, and it's a double play. 5, 4, 3. From the leadoff guy getting on. Steele quickly erases that. Jam shot on Stevenson, and with the catcher running, that's an easy 2. Now TJ Friedl, one of the lone left-handed batters in the Reds lineup tonight. Full name, Terry Lee Friedl Jr. Usually shortened to TJ because he wants to say that every single time. And the count 2-0 as Steele misses inside and then a bit low. 2 stints on the IL this season from Friedl, but he's been healthy as of late. It's been a good part of this Reds offense as he fouls one away there. 35 at-bats. He's left the yard 7 times, 86 hits, and the average almost up around 300 at 282, and he's got some good slug to go along with that at 426. Curveball nearly hits him up and in, and Steele has got to make a pitch to avoid a 2-out walk. 2-out walks came back to haunt Marcus Stroman in Cubs pitching last night. It was another 1-run game. Reds took that. They've been very good in 1-run games, 24-21 with that win last night. Cubs not so good in 1-run games, 11-13. And you look at that. They've only had 24 1-run games. Their run differential in the plus 50s. Lots of their wins have been blowouts. This one's skied out towards left center. Happ and Bellinger come in. It'll be Happ to call off Bellinger, and the inning is over. Justin Steele, efficient work, faces the minimum for the second time today, and the Reds quickly down in the top of the 4th. Cubs offense back to bat. They've scored 10 runs in the first 3 innings. See if they can add on some more as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Back to the bottom of the 4th. And what are you going to say about Elly De La Cruz?
I was going to say, what are your thoughts on him?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that I think he's a spectacular player. When you get him out, when you get him to the plate, when he's not striking out, he's one of the best hitters in baseball. And when you get him on the bases, he's one of the most dangerous base runners as Ian Happ leads off the bottom of the 4th for the Cubs. And also in the field, this guy is even more dangerous. 99.8. He broke his own record for fastest major league throw from an infielder. Happ skies this one down the left field line. It's pretty deep with that wind blowing out to left tonight, but it's not going to help it enough as on the edge of the track, the catch is made by Nick Senzel. And for the first time today, Ben Lively has gotten a Cubs leadoff guy. Cody Bellinger back in. Homered last time up. on a breaking ball down and in, knocked out a panel on the right field scoreboard. And Lively was not letting that happen again. An elevated fastball. Their pitch count already up to 75 for Ben Lively here. One out in the bottom of the fourth. That's a good changeup. See, if he could have just spotted that pitch all night long, he'd be pretty much unhittable. That's a very nice looking pitch. Going tomorrow for the Reds is Brandon Williamson. They're needing a much better start than they got from Lively tonight. By far the worst start he's had this season. The most runs he has given up is 7. He's broke that by 3 runs tonight, 10 runs in just 3 1/3 so far. Bellinger up the middle. He's got a 3-hit night, and he is 3 for 3. Oh, man, what a hot August he had. Batting almost 400, and he's batting 1,000 so far in August, 3 for 3. Give him what the pitcher gives him. Taking what the pitcher gives him. Right back up the middle. For those of you wondering, 405 the distance on Bellinger's homer back in the 2nd inning. Now Dansby Swanson. Good night last night for him with a homer. And he's got a homer here tonight in the lineouts as well. Oh, they got that panel back and working on that right field scoreboard after Bellinger knocked it out momentarily. 1-0 to Dansby. Self-defense swing sends it foul. Swanson really struggled to come on at the start of the season. He since, with this homer tonight, now it's 14 homers. He did not pick up his first homer until nearly a month into the season. Something he's not really used to. 1 run with Bellinger on first, backup breaking ball inside. 2-1. David Bell riding out Ben Lively so far. So the Cubs have hit double digits yet again. Aside from the Texas Rangers, they have had the most 10 double-digit run games this season. 2-1. That's in the dirt. They also have one of the highest run differentials in the major leagues, and it's one of the only positive ones in the NL Central. The Reds have since gotten their run differential to positive. The Cubs still in the top 5 in the MLB. (3-1) to Dansby. Bellinger's on first, 1 away. The bottom of the 4th, Candelario on deck, and Dansby again hits one well. Deep center field, and it's gone for the 2nd time tonight. Dansby Swanson strikes. Home run number 15. It's his 3rd in 2 games, and the Cubs lead by 10. It's 12-2. Holy smokes. How about Dansby Swanson? This guy's been electric.
Yeah, it took him a while to start, and he's been picking up real well, and it's helping the Cubs out a lot.
Big time. Last night, home run, got them going, able to give them the momentum to fight back into the game. And here tonight, got him started, got him out early, 5 with a 3-run homer in the 1st. Now here, 2nd of the night, his 5th RBI. That's 12-2 for Jeimer Candelario. 2 infield hits for him. Came over from the Nationals where he was batting .258, 16 homers, which would be tied on the Cubs for 2nd on the team, just behind Patrick Wisdom. He was sat the last couple of nights. Candelario left field and deep again. Back in. It's off the wall. Candelario's 3 for 3. The big man's getting into 2nd. Back-to-back extra base hits, and Candelario just missed a home run by a couple of inches. He's got a double. Boy, are we liking this bat pickup so far. They got him for his bat, got him for the versatility on the infield. What have they got? They've gotten 2 infield singles and 1 off the ivy. Welcome home, Jeimer Candelario. I've been talking about his Cubs debut all night. What have I been talking about? He played 16 games with the Cubs in 2016 and 17. And Lively's going to stay in the game. Just another mound visit. I mean, this is the Reds bullpen had to work a lot last night. They used after Abbott's start, they used 6 relief pitchers. So the bullpen's tired, but I mean, Lively's just embarrassing himself at this point, and it's tough for him. Five of the last 8 hits for Dansby Swanson have left the yard. Nice little nugget there. So what do you think? Morel's batting 7th tonight. Madrigal and Barnhart are 8 and 9 in the order. You think they don't let Lively go through the order for a 4th time as he's just continued to get beaten up? There's a ground ball to short. Sort of first takes steer off the base, but he applies the tag to Morel. But going back, you think if he gets out of this inning, you don't think they let him face the order for the 4th time, do you?
I think as long as he can go, they'll put him there because there's no point in changing pitchers after letting up 12 runs. It's very hard to come back from a 12-2. And this is going to be a really long game for the Reds.
Yeah, and you think you still got 2 more games in the series that are big games that you have to think about. As Madrigal sends it in the left field corner, Candelario will be able to walk home. Madrigal trades places with them. Oh my, it's 13-2. Keep the line moving. After a couple of off nights for the offense, scoring no runs in St. Louis the other night, 5 runs last night, feels so great to put a game away early, score 13, and it's still only the 4th inning. It's going to be a long night. In the bullpen for Cincinnati, it's the right-hander Law. He's one of the only Reds pitchers who did not pitch last night. Derek Law since April, 2.84 ERA, so that'll give him some confidence coming out of the bullpen to at least maybe not let this get any worse. As Barnhart is up, now with another runner in scoring position. The Cubs have not been an extra base hitting team all year, but it's been extra base hit after extra base hit, it seems, tonight. Barnhart's 0 for 2, lined hard foul. So Morel and Barnhart are the only players on the Cubs tonight that are hitless. One-two to the Cubs' 9-hole hitter. Upstairs. Two. In the dirt. Good eye from Tucker Barnhart. Barnhart's been everywhere. He's been most recently in Detroit. Also a former Red, facing his former team tonight. Full count. Got him at the high fastball. Strikeout number 2 for Ben Lively. The Cubs add on 3 more. It's 13-2 as we go to the 5th. What an offensive showcase on display on this Tuesday night at Wrigley. Back to the top of the fifth here at Wrigley. Now, earlier when the Cubs were up 5, we were talking about the game is not over. The Reds answered with 2 of their own in the top of the second. We really did not think the game was over. Cubs have since gone for 8 unanswered, and the Reds lead the majors, tied with the Orioles at that for comeback wins. How have they been able to come back in all these games? And
well, I think when you have aggressive hitters that sometimes strike out, but also can have that ability to make that comeback, really helps to come back.
Young bats, new to the majors, these young players, they've got nothing to lose. They're up there swinging for their future, and there's a line drive. Diving catch by Swanson. The glove continues to shine at short. Take a bow, Dansby Swanson. Yes, sir. Robs Stuart Fairchild of a base hit. They didn't sign him on a 7-year deal for nothing. How you like that signing?
I think it's because when you have someone that hits half the season, it's still better than having them hit once in a while. Like, you want those players that can be able to hit, but not always hit.
Yeah, I mean, he's still young. Only a couple of years in Atlanta, World Series experience. 1-1 bounced foul. And he's good on both sides of the ball. Sure, he has his ups and downs at the plate, but he's getting hot at the right time right now for sure at the plate.
And when you have Elly De La Cruz striking out so much, it's because he's an aggressive hitter. Like, he wants those home runs, but he's just not coming.
You think, yeah.
Give him time and it will work.
Who do you think comes to mind when you think of Elly De La Cruz and his aggressiveness? Because I've got something in my mind.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Fernando Tatis. Well, I'm thinking Cub. I'm thinking Javier Baez back on the 2016 World Series team. I mean, sure, he would strike out, but when he wasn't, he was doing some good stuff. Called strike 3 there. Backdoor fastball. 0 for 3 for De La Cruz. 3 strikeouts. That one's looking. And Steele's got strikeout number 6. He continues to deal. Why do you think Fernando Tatis?
I think they're both aggressive hitters, and they just have the play style that they can play anywhere. And I would say Elly De La Cruz is less steroids.
There you go. Oh, that one eats Madrigal up. And there'll be no play, is it? Ricocheted to Swanson. Hey, we'll give Madrigal a free pass on that one. He's been so good at third all year. It's really disappointing what you saw out of Fernando Tatis. Kind of just a funky hop there on Nick. But it's really disappointing with what you saw for Fernando Tatis. He was really good for the game. He was really good for the game, and that's really all it was. But then you don't set a good example for kids who look up to you, taking all these steroids and everything, and that's mainly why he missed out on the All-Star team this year. But going back to how he plays, versatility, shortstop, anywhere in the outfield. The Padres went out and bought again at this trade deadline, trying to make a playoff push, just 5 games back of that NL wild card. Cubs 3.5 games back in the wild card, 3-way tie currently, except I don't know how that's shaping up because Milwaukee is about to beat Washington. Miami lost to Philadelphia. So it's going to be really interesting, especially with the Cubs getting the win tonight. Curveball hit well, left, center, and deep. It's going to 2-hop to the wall. On his horse is Senzel, and he's going to come in to score. So after reaching on the Madrigal air, Reds run number 3 is in on the day. Curveball went right onto the barrel of Matt McLain. He gets another extra base hit.
That is an example of why they come back so much, because when you have people in scoring position, you need those hitters to come through and work your way back on the comebacks.
Well, he wasn't even scoring. He didn't score in position there. He was on first, but still getting these balls in the gap. There was a lot of them last night. You think it's approaches and everything. This Reds farm system, really a good job of developing all these young players, and look at what they've turned into. 0-1 to Justin Steele. looked pretty good, but Mark Carlson rules just a bit outside. Could be the last inning for Justin Steele. 72 pitches here in the top of the 5th. Now, if you're going for a quality start, maybe let him go one more. But this game pretty comfortably in the bag. He faces Spencer Steer here. One low. Struggling to find the strike zone here against the Reds. Right-handed cleanup hitter. Steer 1 for 2 with a line out and a single back in the 2nd. Line back to the screen. Due up next inning for the Cubs. We're back to the top of the order. Tauchman, Horner, Happ. They'll be batting for the 4th time. 2-2. Golfed down the line and left. And it's going to get fouled. About 20 rows or so deep in the seats. Hey, one thing that has led to the Cubs offense, we'll talk more about this next inning, but the Cubs offense having success here on this 13-run night. They haven't been striking out as much. Last night, 6 strikeouts combined in the top 4 in the order, 13 total. Tonight, with a different look in the top of the order. Last night, it was Horner, Suzuki, Happ, Bellinger in the top of the order. Tonight, it's Tauchman, Horner, Happ, Bellinger. They've gone, let's see, 2 for 2. 3. Hold on, I'll do my math. This one's bounced to Swanson. He ends the inning. But top 4 in the Cubs order, 2 for 2. 3 for 4. Come on, math. 2 for 6. 5 for 9. So the top of the order doing a lot better tonight. Cubs and Reds in a 10-run ball game as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Cubs looking to keep adding on. New pitcher on for the Reds. They finally put an end to that embarrassing Ben Lively outing. Tauchman leads off the inning.
Lively was making it seem like batting practice for the Cubs.
Oh, yeah. Just like Marcus Stroman we were talking about last night for the Reds, but this twice as worse. Stroman only gave 6 runs in 3 innings. Tonight, 10 runs in 3 innings, 13 runs in 4 innings for Ben Lively. And not something he's going to be proud of. 11 of those runs are earned as two runs that came to score came off the errors, as there's an 0-2. Derek Law. I'll get you can say that in a moment. I'm going to cut you off. Sorry. Derek Law, the new pitcher for the Reds. As I said, 2.84 ERA in his last 18 appearances, 4.14 ERA in his previous 13. So he's gotten better as of late. 1-2. This has been a very good Reds bullpen. What were you going to say?
I was going to say Lively and Stroman are two of the best pitchers for their team, and they need them to show out for some of these big games, and they just weren't doing it.
Reds pitching's been really incredible. I'll break down some of the numbers here if I can find them. Now, the ERA, you look at, they're 26th in the majors, but that's because earlier in the season when they had that kind of rough start, earlier in the season, that ERA skyrocketed. It's been really good since the All-Star break. 26 most hits in the majors, 24th most runs allowed, 26th most home runs, 28th walks. I don't know why I said any of those because that makes it look like the Reds pitching's terrible. But the bullpen's been really good. Starters have been better since the All-Star break. And Lively just with, obviously, his worst outing of the year there. Tauchman did draw the leadoff walk, and Nico's back up. Good night last night, 1 for 2 tonight. And this is hard hit down the line, but foul. Tauchman's walk there was his second of the night. Oh, 2 to Horner. Elevated fastball, and he gets a good piece of it to right field. But able to settle under it and squeeze it is Stuart Fairchild for the first out. And Nico is retired for the third time today. Oh, look at those. Jordan Baker. Flashy footwear over there at third base tonight. Tell you, he did not have the best strike zone last night. Hurt the Cubs in many spots. Does have some good-looking shoes, though. Ian Happ, first pitch. Fouled back to the screen. Jordan Baker, the tallest umpire in the Major League. Bit inside there. So when we're talking about this Reds bullpen, they ranked 5th in the National League with a 3.86 bullpen ERA and 3rd in the National League with 422 innings of relief. So they've been under a lot of pressure. They've had to come in a lot because the starters have not always been there, but the bullpen's been really good. That one's bounced. Stevenson able to corral it, and it's 2-1 to Happ. Happ switch hitting from the left side. And he fouls that one back at the plate. Count even at 2-2. Happ with a good series in St. Louis. Left the yard in one of those games. Cubs went on to win that. Yan Gomes also went deep there as well. 2-2 in the dirt. By the way, for those wondering, going to the bottom of the ninth in D.C., the Brewers lead the National 6-4. The Phillies and Marlins in that NL wildcard race. Phillies half a game up. Miami tied with Arizona and Milwaukee for that third wildcard spot. Phillies took care of business there. They won that one 3-1 with a 3-run top of the ninth inning. There's another walk given up by Law. Happ takes first, Tauchman to second, and there's 2 aboard for Cody Bellinger. 3 for 3, 2 hits, and a homer. .321 the average has gotten up to on this season. They're batting around 400 in the month of July. First pitch to Cody bounced just wide of the first base bag and over toward the tarp. 4 Cubs home runs tonight. 2 from Swanson, 1 from Bellinger, and 1 from Mike Tauchman. Oh, 1 to Red Hot Belly. Backs off a bit there on that inside fastball. On this lengthy road trip for the Reds, Laws had 2 appearances, 3 innings, 0 runs, 2 walks. So the Rocks have been a bit of an issue as Bellinger gets a piece there. Worked the count to 1-2. If it's one thing that the Reds do need to clean up a bit, going back to last night, is the walks. Still, you can't really complain about what this bullpen has done as of late. 1-2. Stevenson started outside, jumped back inside, and he missed it. He missed too far inside. It's 2-2. Saw Law give up leadoff walk to Tauchman. That's a rare occurrence for him, and he's retired. First batters in 19 of his 29 appearances. Bellinger, another well-hit ball deep to center field with some carry, but running it down on the track is Friedl, and he breaks down, fires it back into the infield. Tauchman advances 90 feet. Retreating back to first is Happ, and Bellinger just missed that one, and he's retired for the first time tonight. Going back to the beginning of July, Law was on the injured list for 41 games. So good to have him back. Add that extra bullpen arm. Here's Dansby Swanson. What a night for him. Looking to make it a 3-home run night. And even the time he was put down, it was a hard hit ball to center field back in the second inning. 0-1. RBI opportunity here. That one spiked. And a good stop from Stevenson to keep the runners where they are. So the Cubs in a good spot to end this 2-game losing streak after winning 8 straight. They're 8-2 in the last 10, though, so still playing good baseball. Forced Jed Hoyer to be buyers as there's a very slow breaking ball that got Swanson way out on the front foot. Candelario's on deck. We'll see if he gets a chance to bat here in the 5th. Otherwise, if Swanson's set down, he will lead off the 6th. 1-2. Good eye from Dansby on the fastball. He's been really good against fastballs. Batting .316 last year, .317 this year off fastballs. He's really only struggled on the breaking pitches. What makes Dansby Swanson the plate so impressive? Because you see his numbers against fastballs is as he strikes out there. But before we go to break, what stat do you think jumps out the most for him? 15 homers now, 16 doubles. Plenty of things that jump out at you.
I think he's doing well, and he's been hitting a lot of homers compared to Elly De La Cruz.
Elly De La Cruz has played about 60 fewer games, but hey, let's give a comparison where comparisons due. Let's give Dansby Swanson credit where credit is due. We're going to the 6th inning. Oh boy, we're almost 2 hours into this game, only heading to the 6th. Cubs failed to score in an inning for the first time tonight, but they still are comfortably in front by 10. It's 13-3, top of the 6th, coming up on the other side. RT cut back a bit late from commercial, so we missed the first pitch, but Justin Steele still out there for a 6th inning. Looks like he's got another quality start locked up. The NL leader, one of the top MLB guys for quality starts this season. And he's got Newman ahead 0-2. Newman batting 5th for Cincinnati tonight. Chases the high fastball, but able to get a piece. Kevin Newman in his first start since July 9th against Milwaukee. It's going to be his 9th start of the season at second. So not a lot of experience over there. He has not played at second until almost 2 months ago, June 3rd. 0-2. That's golfed left field, and it's down and into the corner. Happel chase after it, sits up against the ivy, and Newman will jog into second with a leadoff double here in the 5th. Now, that's the Reds' 8th hit in the game. If this is anywhere close, I mean, you can never count out this offense. But what's impressed you about the Cubs tonight that just put this game away ever since scoring 5 runs in the first?
They're hitting with base hits and home runs.
Obviously, you look at it, 13 runs.
That's all you need. As long as you get base hits, you're in for a solid game.
13 runs is going to win a ball game almost every single day. Yeah, and they haven't done it flashy. I mean, they haven't done it flashy all season. Tonight, 4 homers stands out, but move guys over, hit with runners in scoring position. Taking advantage of the errors committed by the Reds, and that's all you need. So that was Newman's first hit of the day. Now Christian Encarnacion Strand. Outer edge does not get the call. 1-for-2. The name is shortened to Encarnacion on the back of the jersey. So who wants to put Encarnacion Strand on the back of somebody's jersey? That is a tough task. But this guy the Reds were excited about. They called him up about a month or so after Elly De La Cruz. 15-game hitting streak down at AAA Louisville, and came over from the Twins last August, along with Spencer Steer. So 2 guys that have been a big part and will continue to be a big part for the Reds. Got a nice little feisty argument going in the comments section. 2-2 to Encarnacion Strand. Line back. Look out to the folks sitting behind the plate. Curveball jams Encarnacion Strand on pitch number 88 from Justin Steele. Newman's at second with nobody away. Cubs 5 games back in the NL Central at 53-53, trying to get back above 500. They're 3.5 back of a wild card spot. Outside. And the count has been worked full. Base open with Stevenson, Friedel, Fairchild up. Not the worst thing to walk him here. Up the middle, backhanded by Horner. Nice play, and he beats Encarnacion Strand by a step or 2 at first. Horner and Swanson, dominant duo up the middle. We've seen a nice play, couple nice plays from both of them tonight. What do you think about Nico's defense? One of the best second basemen in the league, but he just very, very rarely gets credit for it.
It's amazing. And when you pair Nico Horner with Dansby, it just works well. And then you also have Cody Bellinger on first.
Well, yeah, and there's more of the versatility. Bellinger's in center tonight, especially with Candelario now. You can move Candelario to third. Bellinger can come to first. You've got all these options. Wisdom, if he ever gets back in the lineup, he can play third. He can play first.
And when you have those players that can switch their positions, it helps a lot with your cap amount.
Uh-oh, Stevenson deep to left, and that's a no-doubter. Steele allows his first homer of the day, his 8th homer on the season for Tyler Stevenson, and that's Steele's 8th homer on the season allowed. And it's an 8-run ball game. Reds still have 11 outs remaining, but still a very tall task. I mean, this is Justin Steele's worst outing in a long time. And yet the Cubs still lead by 8. Meanwhile, through 7 innings, the Astros are no-hitting the Cleveland Guardians. Brewers Nationals has gone final. Milwaukee takes care of business there. Cubs are now 4 back in the wild card. And the Brewers are within 1 game of Cincinnati. That'll be down to a half game if the Cubs can close this out. So a quick mound visit from pitching coach Tommy Hotovy. And now Steele back to work against TJ Friedl. Strike 1, top the zone. Fouled away by Friedl. Career high 8-game hitting streak back in middle of April. Numbers this season don't really reflect off that. Still nothing to complain about, though. 282, 7 homers. 17 stolen bases. The Reds love to run, but tonight just have not gotten the option to run. They are tied with they are now in the solo lead after last night picking up a couple more stolen bases. They are now in the solo lead of Major League leading stolen bases with 122. 1-2. Just able to get a piece as Friedl off the end of the bat. Reds have struck out 6 times tonight. They're 24th in the majors with 977 strikeouts. Cubs offense very similar. 21st in the big leagues. There's a strikeout, number 7. Went to a Reds game a couple of week or so ago in Cincinnati. They struck out 18 times against Corbin Burns and the Brewers. That's a nice pitch. Set down Friedl by Steele. Now he's got to deal with Stuart Fairchild here with 2 outs. And nobody on base. Beautiful pitch. Fastball right on in there for a strike. Jed Hoyer earlier today in his press conference was mentioning how the Cubs seem to be better than their record, and that's definitely what it's been. You look at this run differential of plus more than 50 runs. It's up to like plus 58 or something now, and it's definitely what you look at. You think they should have won more games, but they've had a lot of games like this, blowout wins. You think that 17-3 against the Nationals, double digits. They've had a lot of double-digit games. That's why the run differential is so high. Little squibber in front of third. Madrigal charges, and he beats him. Nice play by Nick Madrigal, who continues to play a stellar third base. Fairchild is down and the inning's over. The Reds add 2 more. They're up to 5 on the day. Steele, one of his worst outings in a long time, but the Cubs still lead big. It's 13-5 as we go bottom 6 from Wrigley. we've heard people on the winning streak that the Reds have gone on this year. They've been streaky, and they've been really good ever since that 12-game winning streak a couple of weeks ago, about middle of June now. But we were just talking in the break. The Reds can very easily be a World Series contender. I don't think it's going to happen this year. Now, they are in a good position to win the Central. If they continue to compete, maybe they can make a playoff run. But when you look at the next few years, and that's really what they've been building for, they have so many young guys, and they also have old leaders such as Joey Votto. Joey Votto leads, not in the lineup tonight, but he's last night, another good night against the Cubs, leads active players with 147 RBIs against the Cubs and ranks second just behind the legend Albert Pujols with 48 career homers against the Cubs. And with veteran leadership and young guys, Reds can go far in the years to come. New pitcher for the Reds, it's Sam Moll. 45 games this year, 4.54 ERA. Comes in relief of Derek Law. There's a foul tip into the mitt by Candelario. So Law, 1 inning of work for him. 0 hits, 0 runs. He did walk a couple. Also picked up a strikeout. Moll, a left-hand arm. Oh, 2, and he stays put there. Sam Moll traded. This is his first appearance with the Reds. Traded from the A's. And there's a little bloop. It's going to get down for hit number 4 for Jeimer Candelario. What a welcome home. Seiya Suzuki, Cody Bellinger liking it in the dugout. And this Cubs team has their 14th hit of the day. Runner on first now for Christopher Morel. Rough day for him, 0 for 3. That now makes him 1 for 7 in this series. So, not what he could be better. But when you look at Christopher Morel, he can definitely improve in the years to come. You had a lot of young talent and a lot of future talent coming up in this guy. What do you see that impresses you from Christopher Morel?
I think he has the potential to become great, although going 0-3 tonight. He's been a very good competitor with hitting and defensive side, and that's really it.
Well, the aggressiveness has been there. We saw him in that 3 strikeout game last night. He swings the bat, and aggressiveness sometimes comes back to bite you, as he has struck out 83 times this year.
Swinging aggressively is not bad though, because when you do that, it'll.
Well, yeah, it gives you more chances to hit.
Yeah.
I think if he can learn to lay off maybe the breaking ball a bit more, take advantage of the fastball, I think he'll be in good shape. He's got a 2-2 now. Just last night, Sam Moll was brought in from the A's, along with cap space to the Reds. There's ball 3. It looked pretty good, but he didn't get the call. And the Reds gave away minor league pitcher Joe Boyle. Over in Oakland, which has really had a rough season, 1 save and 3 chances, so he's kind of the saver, and obviously not a lot of save chances with the A's record. As Morel, there's that aggressive swing, chases the breaking ball down and in, and Moll gets his first strikeout. Madrigal will bat Candelario at first. Morel is down for the 4th time today, and he is one of the only 2 Cubs hitters without a hit. Madrigal inside corner, strike 1 called. Single, hit by pitch, double RBI run. Boy, has Nick Madrigal been a nice surprise since coming back from the IL. What do you think about Nick Madrigal? Like that trade that they got? Gave away Craig Kimbrell, got Cody Hoyer. No MLB time for Cody Hoyer with the Cubs. Oh, the bloop falls. They're going to get the out at second, but a misplay by the Reds as that ball was just swirling in the wind. Candelario was then thrown out at second. That'll be a hit by Madrigal, more like a fielder's choice. That was interesting. So for you scoring at home, it's a 9-6 fielder's choice for Madrigal. We'll see if they rule out an error or a hit, as it did tip off Newman's glove. We'll have to see. I'm going to rule that a hit. But I guess it's not a hit because it's a fielder's choice. A lot of weird stuff happening there. Anyway, Barnhart in for the fourth time after an 0-for-3 start on the night. But going back to Madrigal, what we were talking about, you like that trade. Cody Hoyer has not seen Major League time with the Cubs. He is a good reliever when he finally does come up. But giving away Craig Kimbrell, who really has not done much since he was with the Cubs. Nick Madrigal's been a good piece when he's healthy. Like that?
I did like that. And him going 2-for-2 and helping the Cubs team have this lead. When you do trade someone that's not doing much for you and get someone in return that does a lot for you, it just helps the team. And I'm sure he has a great mindset, and it'll give the Cubs I don't know what to say.
Yeah, 1-2 to Barnhart here, but for Madrigal, he came back off the IL in the biggest part of the season. He's been one of the most clutch Cubs hitters, and that's what you talked about. He's been helping out the team, delivering in big spots, and that's just what you ask. It's a guy that you took a chance on. 2-2 from Sam Moll. Tucker Barnhart. 31-year-old delivers to the veteran catcher. Strike three called right down the middle. Barnhart knew it. He's down on strikes for the second time today. Moll works around the leadoff single from Candelario. He also gets 2 strikeouts in the inning. And we are going to the 7th. Cubs up big. 7. A game that's felt like it's taken forever. It's only been 2 hours. Cubs had 13 runs through 4 innings. That's the most since 2009. Swanson, 2 homers. Candelario in his first Cubs game since 2017, 4 for 4. Elly De La Cruz, the star shortstop, leads it off. You're going to notice that big chain that he's wearing. It actually has a picture of his parents, Antonio and Carmen, taking the day he signed with the Reds. Interesting little thing there. I mentioned that last night, but it seems to stand out. De La Cruz's personality. Hayden Wesneski's into the game for the Cubs, replacing Justin Steele. Another good start for Steele. 5 runs given up in 6 innings of work. And there is a 4-pitch walk to Elly De La Cruz. And he's on base for the first time today after striking out the first 3 times. Meanwhile, in Houston, Framber Valdez is pitching a no-hitter against the Guardians through 8 innings. Keep an eye on that. They head to the 9th momentarily in Houston. Here's Nick Senzel. Swings first pitch and fouls it off his own foot. Good night for Senzel. Looked like he might have had to leave the game with an injury. Back in the 3rd. Ended up staying in and together a 2 for 3 night. Got an 0-1 here. Speed is on first. Elly De La Cruz. 17 stolen bases. That's 2 back of the team lead. Reds lead the majors in stolen bases. A little pop-up. Swanson calls off Horner and makes the catch a few steps into the outfield grass for the first out in top of inning number 7. Cubs looking to get a big win to move up in not only the Central standings, but the wild card standings. The Marlins lost tonight. Diamondbacks are playing the Giants. Plenty of MLB action here on this trade deadline Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. 1-0 from Wesneski to McLean. Beautiful pitch. Hayden Wesneski was a starter to start the season. Filled that role nicely. Got sent down back to AAA after a few iffy starts. So now he's back out of the bullpen. He said good stuff. What do you like about Hayden Wesneski?
I think he's a really good pitcher. It's just
consistency.
Yeah.
It's really been the story for a lot of these guys on the Cubs this season. 1-2 to Matt McLain. Way outside. Barnhart has to dive to keep that one in front. Two. Wesneski set at the belt and the delivery. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says first base umpire Trip Gibson. It's the first strikeout for Hayden Wesneski. And after allowing the leadoff man De La Cruz to reach on 4 pitches, swap back to get Senzel and McLean. Now he goes after Spencer Steer. Hayden Wesneski, 16 games at the big league level. 11 of those were starts this season. 4.74 ERA in those games. 62 and 2/3 innings pitched, 53 strikeouts, so you can get that swing and miss. 1-0. Breaking ball. Mark Carlson says that's a strike. Wesneski fights back. to make it 1-1. Beautiful Tuesday night at Wrigley Field. 80 degrees at first pitch. You're on game 2 of this big 4-game series. 1-1. Both these teams right in the middle of the playoff picture. 1-1's down and away. Barnhart wants a new baseball. It's 2-1. Steer back in May, the National League Rookie of the Month. Has not won that award recently, but has still been very good. Bouncing ball just foul. Madrigal will hand it over to Seiya Suzuki in the dugout. Gives that ball a little kiss. Last night he got a similar play, gave it to Willie Harris. Oh, Willie Harris took it back. Seiya Suzuki, crying face. Oh, man. Cubs are having fun. As they should be. Seiya Suzuki, you might not like him at the plate, but you gotta love him for his character. 2-2. Weekly grounded. Madrigal cuts it off. Throws to first. Inning over. Stretch time at Wrigley Field. The Cubs and Hayden Wesneski, a scoreless top of the 7th. And the offense is back at bat. Next. Sam Moll remains in the game as we go bottom 7. Mike Tachman back in, 2 for 2 tonight with 2 walks and 2 hits. Hey, in Houston, Framber Valdez is now 2 outs away from a no-hitter. He's got to face Miles Straw and then Gallagher for the Guardians. That would be the second no-hitter of the season. The only just no-hitter. There's been a perfect game, but no no-hitter. Tachman down on 3 pitches as he is gone looking. And Moll gets his 3rd strikeout. Just 5 batters. And that's going to be it. As here comes David Bell. We're going to have a pitching change. Moll's out of the game. Another call to the pen. He gets an inning and a 3rd. Makes good work. Just 1 hit. No runs. And the Reds are going back to their bullpen. Take another break. Framber Valdez, 1 out away from a no-hitter. Cubs lead by 8. Plenty more things to break down when we come back. Fernando Cruz, the new pitcher for the Reds. And we also have a no-hitter. No hits in 9 innings of work from Framber Valdez. He no-hits the Guardians. And how's that? The day that the Astros get Justin Verlander, Framber Valdez throws the first single no-hitter of the season, second overall after that perfect game earlier in the year. But Fernando Cruz for Cincinnati on for the second night in a row. First pitch swinging by Nico Hoerner. It's deep to left, and it's home run number 5 on the day from Cubs batters. Nico Hoerner wastes no time. His 8th of the season. Boys, he's starting to heat up. And the Cubs have their first run since the 4th inning. It's 14-5. Cubs offense that has not been dependent on the long ball at all this season has left the yard 5 times tonight, taking advantage of the wind blowing out at Wrigley. Beautiful swing. Hands inside on that inside fastball and edge of the bleachers. So now Ian Happ. 1 hit and 4 plate appearances. Again from the left side against the righty Cruz. Watches it go high. So Nico Hoerner's now got a 2-hit night. After going 2 for 4 last night. Outer edge, a bit too far out. Patrick Wisdom gearing up in the Cubs. Dugout. Looks like he might be pinch hitting later on in the inning. 1-0 Ian Happ to the opposite field. That one's deep, and that one's off the ivy. Takes a big bounce, and Happ will take the turn and head into second. Back-to-back extra base hits by Cruz, or off of Cruz from Hoerner and Happ. And other guys in scoring position for Cody Bellinger. That's hit number 16 by the Cubs tonight. Cruz last night, 2/3 innings of work, just 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, so good work there. Different story tonight. Now Bellinger rips one, hard foul. So you see Bellinger with he's always got these big swings. Are you more of a guy that takes big swings, or are you just trying to put the ball in play, find gaps? Or are you swinging for the fences?
I'm a base hit hitter.
Just like me. I tell you, I don't know about you, but 40 of my 50 hits this year were singles. Just got to find holes, hit them where they ain't. Don't have to be one of these flashy home run guys.
I agree.
That's my philosophy, but different story for the Cubs tonight. 5 long balls. Bellinger's got an 0-2 count here from Cruz. Big wind up, but another foul ball. And he really took that one off the dirt. That's what you get with, he's got a lot of extension through that swing, and that's why he's such a good 2-strike hitter. He can make contact with almost anything that's around the plate. Bellinger again. Right field, but this might have been off the end of the bat a bit. Got a bit too jumpy there. Just a weak little fly out. And Happ stays put at second. Here comes Dansby Swanson. But first in their pitching change. David Bell loves using this bullpen. He's going to do it again. Cruz faces 3 batters. Gets 1 out. And his day is done. Another break. Another pitching change. I just don't want this bottom of the 7th to end. Back in a moment. There's a pitching change. But guess what? It's Luke Maile, last night's catcher. The rules are, if you're up by 8 in the 7th inning or later, I think it is. New rule this year, you can bring in a position player. Here you go. Down by 9. Yes, I forgot to change the scoreboard, but down by 9. In comes Luke Maile. I'm not going to go to all the trouble to look up his pitching stats, but right-hander. Looks like he's really got that eephus working tonight. At least in his warm-ups. Ooh, is that a knuckleball? I don't think the Cubs have had a position player pitch against them all year. Not even in that 17-3 blowout against the Reds. I'm not even going to bother writing Maile's name in the scorebook. It's just, I'm too lazy. Well, he will face Patrick Wisdom. So they're actually pinch hitting for Dansby Swanson. In comes Wisdom. I wonder what that'll do with the defense. But Wisdom is in. Team leader in home runs with 18. And just 195. He's a 3 true outcomes guy. 92 strikeouts, 28 walks, 36 hits. So about even in all those. First pitch misses high from Maile. 67 from a position player. That's some gas. Second pitch, Wisdom, a blast. Center field, and deep, and gone. Oh, that's just mean. Wisdom off of Maile. It's home run number 6 from the Cubs tonight. And it's 16-5. Wisdom, a pinch hit homer. A 2-run shot with 2 away. And the lead is double digits at 11. 3 pitches from Maile. And Wisdom, straight away center. Number 19. Some people, the haters, will say it doesn't count. Counts in my book. Now Candelario looking for his first hit since being traded to the Cubs. And he's also looking for a 5-for-5 night. 2-0, or excuse me, 1-1. to Candelario. That's up and out. Ailey really trying to paint that outside corner, but he's not getting the call. And you got these lob balls coming in. It's not that easy to get those calls. Candelario chases there. Big grin on his face. 2-2. Fly ball, left center field, over toward the gap, and on the run, a nice play made by Nick Senzel. So the first time Candelario has been retired tonight. But Patrick Wisdom, a 2-run shot off Luke Mailey. And the Cubs lead by 11. What a fun night at Wrigley Field. Still not over. Still got inning and a half of baseball to play as we go to the 8th. Well, the Reds, after a catastrophe tonight, most likely you're going to start looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow, they got left-hander Brandon Williamson on the mound for him. Drew Smiley's going to go for the Cubs. Drew Smiley, do you like him better as a starter or reliever? Because he's been the second guy in. That's what he was in St. Louis. He's been like that a couple of starts. He's had success, but he's been good in that reliever role. Do you think he can carry it over to that starter role?
I like him as a reliever better because the Cubs need relievers, and overall, we just need pitching.
Yeah, 1 pitch, 1 out here for Wesneski is back in the game. But you also look at it, we also needed a 5th starter. So do you think Smiley was the best option to be the 5th starter? Or you think they could have gone with a guy like Wesneski? Or do you think they could have traded for somebody at the deadline?
I think they could have traded for someone. Trade one of your players that you don't.
A lot of pitching available at the deadline. They could have gotten. This one's hit well from Encarnacion Strand, and over to grab it is Morel. Look at Christopher playing in left field. A lot of shakeups from the Cubs defensively. That's 2 quick outs from Wesneski. Of Newman and Strand. Now Stevenson with 2 away. Taken all the way. It's strike 1. Stevenson, good night. 2 for 3. Single and a homer last time up. He also wrapped into a 5-4-3 double play. Breaking ball. Bit too low. One. Check swing, no swing. Supposed to start raining. What a night at the ballpark for the Cubs. They lead 16-5. They're going to move to 54 and 53. They'll gain a game in the division. They'll gain half a game in the wild card. It'll move to 19-14 against division opponents, which the Reds have struggled. They'll move to 14-20 against division opponents. So it's been a struggle. The Brewers have really been a killer of the Reds. And the Cubs are now going to move to above 500 at home. 2-2. Fastball way upstairs. It's a full count. Popped him up right field. This ball's going to carry a bit as Tauchman with a two-hand squeeze. Wisniewski, 1-2-3 inning, faces the minimum in the 8th. And the Cubs, again, are going to bat again as if they need any more runs in the bottom of the 8th. Seventeen hits for the home team through 7 innings. They will bat for the final half inning. Now, upcoming schedule for the Cubs, not easy. They have to play a series against Atlanta, some with the Braves, some with the Mets, some with the Blue Jays. Not an easy upcoming stretch. Morel deep to left in the corner, off the top of the wall. He missed a homer by about 3 or 4 inches last night, and he hits this one so hard it bounces all the way back near the infield off the ivy. That's what a brick wall does. He's got a double in his first hit of the night. So now Barnhart's the only Cubs hitter without a hit. That was almost home run number 7 for the Cubs, as Maile is still in the game. Look at how far that ball bounced. Here's Madrigal. Strike 1 called on the first pitch from the Reds catcher, Luke Maile. Got to start as catcher last night. Tonight he comes in the pitching role after Stevenson took the catching duties. That one's low to Madrigal at 62. Yanked that one a bit far to outside. Austin, I'm wondering the same thing. Why is it taking so long? Let's just look at the score. 21 runs. And Madrigal lift off deep to left. And it's caught at the wall. Leaping catch by Senzel. It's been busy over there at left tonight. Trying to get a feel for the ivy, and he made a leaping catch up against the walls. Madrigal thought he had his second home run of the season. Barnhart now looking for his first hit of the day. That would then mean that every hitter in the Cubs lineup has a hit. Even Wisdom, who's a pinch hitter. So that'd mean 10 guys for the Cubs have a hit. Currently 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Big swing, home run swing off a 61-mile-an-hour pitch. Cubs have only used 2 pitchers to this point, Steele and Wisniewski. Reds on number 5, and Maile, they used 4 of their relievers. And good move by David Bell to bring in Maile because used 6 pitchers last night, 4 relievers here tonight. They're going to need them later in the series. Well, this is a bad sign. Barnhart's struggling to hit off of a 60-mile-an-hour pitch, and that's probably why he is struggling even more to hit off anybody this season. Line drive foul. Barnhart this year in 41 games has not gotten many at-bats just because of how much he has struggled. He's only batting alone .206. 1-2. There's his first hit of the day. Everybody in a Cubs uniform has a base hit. And they're on the corners with 1 gone for Mike Tauchman, the top of the order once again. Cubs trying to break their season record of runs. They scored 17. That actually started that 8-game winning streak against the Nationals a couple weeks ago. Tauchman, sky-high fly ball, center field. A few steps to his right is Friedel. Morel will tag, and the Cubs have tied their season high in runs with 17, and they're just running up the score now. It's 17-5. Tauchman does a job, brings in the run. And now Hoerner. Homered last time. He's 2 for 5 on the night. Stevenson, look at him trying to frame that pitch. Maile ramped it up there. 69. Anthony Kay warming in the Cubs bullpen. The only lefty on this Cubs bullpen. They were looking to add some more at the trade deadline. Could not. Kay has had his struggles, but here, put him in a blowout game, get his confidence back. Why not? 1-1. Hoerner's got another hit, his 3rd of the day. And Barnhart will stay put at second. Happ will come to bat with a RBI opportunity. Nick Senzel's been busy over there in left field tonight. Oh, Miguel Amaya. He was not sent down to AAA. There were rumors that he was, but no. They kept him, and he's going to pinch hit here for Ian Happ. Takes first pitch high. Strike 1 taken by Amaya right down the middle. If Amaya can get a hit, that means that 11 of all 11 Cubs hitters tonight would have a hit. It looked like it was a knuckleball. You think so? From Maile?
Probably.
Saw some movement, saw some wiggle. Eye-level fastball for Maile at 76, and it's 2-2. Amaya, foul into the camera well. I actually think that went through the Cubs dugout and into the camera well. Morel's looking at him like, come on, man. Full count to Amaya. Nico's at first. Oh, yeah, there you go. Nearly took the head off of Mike Tauchman. 3-2, foul ball. Minutes, 23 minutes away from the 3-hour mark in this game, which we have not seen much in the pitch clock era, but it seems like every game I stream has been a 3-hour game. As now Amaya to left field. It is gone. The Cubs have scored 20 runs. and they have hit 7 home runs tonight. It is 20-5, 371 feet from Amaya. All 11 Cubs hitters that have come to the plate, all have recorded a hit. What a fun night. Unless you're a Reds fan, of course. Here's Bellinger. So for Amaya, in a shortened stint up with the Major League club, that's now his 32nd game, 32nd appearance. That is his 3rd big league homer. Now Bellinger deep to center. It's caught right up against the ivy. Nearly 21-5. Guess we'll just have to settle with 20-5. The Cubs have scored 20 runs. They lead it by 15. Who in the world saw this coming? They make a statement win against the Reds tonight. Still not done yet. Still got the top of the 9th to play when we come back. Three more outs until this marathon is over. Looks like Michael Kay is going to come in to close the door after Wesneski does good work. 2 innings. And he gave up no hits, no runs. Another good outing from Hayden Wesneski. 7 home runs for the Cubs. Maya, Horner, Swanson with 2. Wisdom, Tauchman, and Bellinger, all with homers tonight. In is the only Cubs left-handed pitcher, Michael Kay. Backhand, jump throw, Nico. Why not? Candelario the stretch. That's a nice looking out number 1. Shouldn't say the only Cubs left-hander, the only Cubs left-hander in the bullpen. You look at it, if the Cubs, I mean, obviously you're not going to score 20 runs every game, but if you can put together an offensive performance, the bullpen locked down again tonight, if you can do this every single game, this Cubs team is definitely going to be in the playoff picture, don't you think?
Yeah, I do think that. And even if you don't have all these home runs, you're still going to win by at least 10 if you have all the singles and have 11 people getting on base.
Bloop ball, shallow center. Bellinger runs in, and he had to go a long way to make that catch, but he makes it. Cubs are 1 out away. Well, a lot of positives tonight. Definitely look back on it, and hopefully that'll give them some momentum the next few games. They're going to need them against Cincinnati. What a statement win for the Cubs. We have not had this chance to get this excited about Cubs baseball in August in quite some time. They're going to be above 500 once again. De La Cruz off the fists. And in his 5th plate appearance, has his first hit. Nick Senzel. In with 2 away and a runner on first. First pitch swinging, popped up and out of play over the screen. Senzel, 2 for 4. And K gets another foul ball, and he's 1 strike away. These fans that have stuck around for the blowout, another good night with plenty of good atmosphere at Wrigley. K, a long look in, pitch clock at 3, and he's just going to use one of his disengagements. Oh, 2 to K, or excuse me, from K to Senzel, sent out a play, and we'll do it over. Reds down to their final strike. Go to Senzel. Really hit him on the backdoor slider. Barnhart, good pick to keep De La Cruz at first. No sense in stealing, although De La Cruz very capable, but why would you do that and blow out of this type? 1-2. Barnhart sets up inside. Another pitch that nearly hit Senzel as he has to back out of the way. K has struggled with control this year. Reds are going to drop back to 59 and 50. Cubs are going to get above 500 at 54 and 53. 2-2. Popped him up back behind the plate, and it's going to drift out of play, and Barnhart will have no play. The Reds, I mean, they scored 5 runs. They would definitely have been in this ball game and maybe been able to tack on a few more if they were even relatively close. But it was the 13-run given it 13-run outing by Ben Lively that put him out of it from the gates. Another foul ball from Senzel. He's not going down easily. This game has now gone 2 hours and 46 minutes. K looking to make sure that's as far as it goes. 2-2. Just gets a piece. And Senzel continues to work it. Pitch number 8 upcoming. 2-2 once more. Every fan on their feet. From the stretch, kicking the deal. Oh, gosh. Pitch number 9 to come. Might be here all night with this at bat. Two, up and out. And De La Cruz will be on the move with a full count and 2 outs. Now the full count from K to Senzel, and oh my gosh, he lost him. Doesn't get the call on the fastball low and inside. And he just does not want this game to end. Come back tomorrow morning. We still might be here. Now he's got to face McLean. Matt McLain, just 172 minor league appearances. Got his way to the majors, and he's been another one of these guys that has stood out in this young Reds roster. 1-0. Oh my gosh, K cannot throw a strike. 2-0. We just want to go home, Michael. Duo, left on right matchup. Gets the call that time. That was ball 3, but Mark Carlson wants to get out of here as well. Pitch number 19. Up the middle, base hit. The Reds are going to get run number 6. The game will continue. And K somehow finds a way to struggle even in a 15-run ball game. The Cubs are going to need a left-handed reliever. But now, trade deadline passed. K cannot be your only option because he has been really bad. Spencer Steer. K nearly hits him with the first pitch.
Oh my gosh.
Senzel at second, McLain at first. K still just need one out. He got the first 2 guys down when he was throwing strikes. But has since struggled to throw strikes and can't get out of the inning. There's a called strike. Let's go Cubbies chant over Wrigley Field here on this Tuesday night. A 1-1 from K. Lined. Fair ball down the line. Kicks off the sidewall. Morel will chase after it. Another run will score. McLain to third. Steer to second. It's 20-7. 27 runs have been scored. Bullet kicks up a bit of chalk down that left field line. Barely sneaks in there. It's just never going to end. Here's Kevin Newman. Hey, this guy might end it for you. 1 for 4. I like our odds here. First pitch, elevated fastball at the letters. 1-0. Low and inside. First base is open. Encarnacion Strand is on deck. He's hit the ball hard a few times tonight. K's 2-0. Oh my gosh. It's now 3-0. It's about to be a 30-pitch inning for Michael K. Number 26 upcoming. (3-1) or 3-0 rather. Way outside ball 4. See, David Ross, I bet you want to go home just as much as us. Just take him out of the game, please, for all of our sanity. Tommy Hadavia will give a mound visit. See, it's hard to believe he got the first 2 batters out. Thank God this isn't a close game. I don't think he would come in if it was a close game, but jeez Louise, he's been terrible. Christian Encarnacion Strand, 1 for 4 with a single. At 244 with 1 homer, 7 RBIs, and a short stint with the Major League club. First pitch.
Oh my gosh.
Based on our reactions, try to guess the result of that pitch. It's a ball. 5 straight. One-0. Line drive, base hit.
Oh my
2
God.
runs are going to score. And it's 20-9.
Take him out. He's selling.
Put in a position player, please. Oh my gosh. I mean, Jed Hoyer's probably having the same reaction I am. If this is going to be your only left-handed relief pitcher, then why did you not go get a relief pitcher at the deadline that's a lefty? Because this is terrible. Reds have scored 4 off K. These poor fans have been standing here for, it seems like, an hour. And here's Tyler Stevenson. Strike 1. Thank gosh he threw a strike. So Encarnacion Strand gets a second hit of the night. Picks up 2 RBIs. First and second. This is the 9th Reds batter of the inning. That one's way inside. That was pitch number 30 from K. This game has now gone on for 2 hours and 54 minutes. Stevenson foul ball. If the Reds score another run, we will have seen 30 runs scored tonight. 1-2. He's got him down to the last strike. Some sarcastic cheering here at Wrigley Field. It's the 1-2. Popped him up. Horner camps under it. Oh, excuse me. That's Madrigal. He had some trouble with it. But after all that, is able to make the catch. I thought this day would never come. The ball game is over. K gives up 4 runs, but ultimately closes it down. The Cubs put up a 20 spot on the Reds in Game 2 of this 4-game series. They move back above 500, and they continue to move up in the wild card standings and in the division standings. 20-9, the final tonight at Wrigley. What a way to start. I guess not start, end this Tuesday with a Cubs victory. 29 runs were scored, 20 of them going to the Cubs. Once again, final score from Wrigley, 20-9. The Cubs beat the Reds. 2 more games coming up between these two in the next 2 days as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and so long.